Hello,
Hey,
this is
what's up?
Jessica,
This is Jamie.
and we're hot for justice.
Hell yes, we are. How are you, boo?
I forget now you can like see my gestures because we put this on YouTube now. So if you guys didn't know, that was like actually like such a seamless intro. We're on
Yeah,
YouTube now.
we're on
Um,
YouTube.
not this is going to be the first like regular episode that we have on YouTube, but
I know.
the
Well, with
other ones
our
are screen recaps.
right, and well, first regular episode with our faces because we've
Yes,
had a YouTube account for like ever.
yes,
It
but
just posted straight audio. If you didn't know.
yeah. I mean, and some people really like to watch instead
Hmm.
of just listen, I've learned. So actually, I learned that on TikTok. People were like, I hate podcasts. I'd rather just watch you on YouTube. So I was like, we should do YouTube this year. And so we did a YouTube, you guys.
And here
We
the
did
fuck
it.
we are. We
We
did
did
it.
it. Yay.
Oh my god, we actually like fulfilled a promise.
Amazing.
But what's
Anyways, how
really
are you guys?
We are good. I was actually gonna say what's really funny is that I watched back that one of the episodes that we did last month, I guess, now that this is
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how much I'm like not looking at the camera.
I know. Well, see, for me, I guess for you, you're zooming and recording on the same computer. I am
Hmm.
recording and then I'm
Uh,
zooming and I have got my case up on one side. It's like really a thing. I'm gonna take a picture actually and post it on our Instagram because um I hodgepodge through this together, but it
quite the
works.
setup.
It's a part-time podcasting gig.
Yeah, I mean, eventually maybe we'll be full-time podcasters.
That'd be
Only,
cool.
yeah, that would be very cool.
I'd be
So
down for that.
yeah, if y'all could like share this with more friends, like maybe one day we'll be able to quit our day jobs. Okay, thanks, bye.
Hey, yeah, thanks. Thanks so
Hmm.
much. Goodbye. I'm just kidding. We have two cases for you.
We do have two cases, and you're up first today.
Yay! Okay, so well, not yay because my case is actually. I mean, all of them are sad.
Yeah, they're all big fat bummers. Let's be quite honest.
I thought this one was super interesting, and so I
Hmm.
was researching it. Of course, I found it on the Reddits, which
Das Reddit.
bless you people who read it. And they're actually they made this into a documentary, and it's coming out. Um, it's not like a it's not like an established like film company picked them up, it's
Hmm.
like kind of a startup type of
Like an indie
documentary, which
deal.
yeah, that's what the word I was looking for. So I
I
think
got you.
it's that's more like more of a reason to watch it, I guess, and to support it.
Hmm.
Maybe even like, if they have a Patreon, I'm not sure, like some sort of crowdfund to like donate to it. But anyways, my case is about Henry Louis Baltimore Jr. Please tell me we don't have the same
No,
person
we
again. Okay.
certainly do not. I was just thinking of that lovely song from Hairspray, "Good Morning Baltimore," but
I've
then
never seen Hairspray, but hear me out. Musicals are not my thing.
so I also don't like musicals. I will be the first
Yeah.
one to admit that. Hairspray is a time and a half. I
Yeah.
mean, also, who doesn't love some good genre action,
Yeah.
especially
I
some
don't know.
cross-dressing genre?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know though. I don't know if I can do it.
It's Hairspray. I will say is a redeemable musical.
Hmm.
Like it's very cute. It's well done, I think, and it's not like over the top cringy.
Yeah.
Um,
Not
I did
over.
watch the recent iteration of Cats. That was cringy.
I mean, I think that even the cast was dragging that. So
Oh yeah, and it deserved every drag that it received.
yeah, that's a shame
Um,
because it was a star-studded cast.
it was, and it like had every reason that it should have been good.
Yeah.
But Cats itself is like not great.
Yes. You're not
So
wrong. You're not
take
wrong.
that for what you will.
Okay, okay. Well, onward I go, and I also will include the link to the documentary in the show notes.
Yeah, where is it watchable? Is it like just on like YouTube or whatever? Or
No, so that's the thing. There's a website and they
Mhm.
have the link to the trailer, but I didn't exactly see where you could watch it, so I'm not sure if it's out yet. But
Oh, okay,
it's a good thing to keep an eye on. If
absolutely.
it was out yet, I would have totally watched it. But it was not. So this, I think so I wrote Baltimore and I also wrote Baltimore, so I guess I'll have to check that. But Henry was a junior at Michigan State University in Jackson studying social science and music. So he was a really good student. He was an honor student. He was in the university marching band. He was the first Black co-drum major in the band, which is a big deal. And he had a job at the library. So really great student, doing big things. His goal was to become a social worker. He was the second of 8 children, and his oldest sister was also a student at Michigan State, and she was doing her master's degree when Henry went missing. And I think she was the one to like kind of sound the alarm when she didn't hear from him. So he was last seen in East Lansing, Michigan, which I did the Googles, and it's about an hour east of Detroit. He was last seen May 30th, 1973. He drove a 1960 Buick, and that was actually found at his home, which was an hour and a half from where he was last seen. He had left behind car keys, money, clothes, and other belongings, which is always the first sign that someone didn't leave willingly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think he left on his own.
Yeah.
I think there's some foul play involved.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, but unless he had like a really super elaborate like plan here. He was at the time living with 3 roommates off campus in an apartment on the 300 block of Oak Hill Avenue in East Lansing, which is what I was saying. Oh wait, yeah. So his sister discovered him, or I basically sounded the alarm that he was missing. She went to go to his apartment to get a paper that she had agreed to type for him. But he wasn't at the apartment. His roommates said that he had gone to the library, but he never came back. So his sister was really worried, especially like when the due date for the paper came and went, and he never like reached out to her. So she contacted her father, who called the police.
How many days were in between these?
It doesn't say.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming not that long, because I figure no more than like a couple. Because otherwise, I think it would have been a little bit more like, where the fuck is he?
Yeah, I think it was a few days after, but I would have to double check. So where it gets interesting, in March of 1973, so this is 2 months before he disappeared, Henry had gone to the police reporting that he had been attacked by 2 men who tied him to his bed, pistol whipped him, and then stole $110, which $110 in 1973, that would be the equivalent of $644 today. So it's a pretty big sum of money.
I mean, shit, I'd be pissed if someone took $140 from me now.
Yeah, same. Same.
Much less 600.
Facts. Yeah, so they'd stolen that in cash. They took his golf bag, a watch, and clothes. He waited 10 days to report the crime because he said he was afraid, which I would be too if someone pistol whipped me and knew where I lived.
Yeah, fuck that.
Right. So they actually ended up charging 22-year-old Roy L. Davis, and he was charged with armed robbery. Initially, Henry did not appear at Roy Davis's preliminary hearing, and he was supposed to testify against him, and he was fined $50 for failure to appear. He actually resurfaced 2 days later, asking the police to drop the case, which I am smelling some witness intimidation here. The police refused to drop the case. He did testify at a rescheduled hearing, and Henry had told his sister that Roy Davis threatened to kill him. 2 days after Henry disappeared, Roy was scheduled to be arraigned, and this was June 1st. So neighbors stated that they saw 2 men. One was thought to be Davis, knocking on Henry's front door the day he went missing. Later in the year, Roy pled guilty to felonious assault with intent to commit robbery and was sentenced to 6 months in jail. He was never charged in connection with Henry's disappearance. He has an alibi for the time that Henry disappeared, and this was confirmed by his mom, which,
you know, I mean, my mom can say a lot of shit about me too, okay?
Yeah, I know. I mean, your mom's really gonna do, I mean, most moms would do
most moms would do the
protect
most.
their kid, you know, like that's your instinct. However,
yeah, like tell me if like Emerson, you know, committed a horrendous crime, you wouldn't do the most.
I mean, you know, that's a thought. You can never really put yourself in that position until you're in that position. I would like to think that I would encourage her to
come forward or whatever.
and accept her punishment for
Yeah.
what she did, but who knows? He's actually thought to be living in Tulsa, Oklahoma now. Roy is. Served his 6 months, dipped to Michigan. Initially,
why would you stick around?
Right. Initially, authorities thought Henry left to avoid testifying, which he had done in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
But he only had left for 2 days that time. And this has been how many years?
I don't know, like 40,
almost,
50
yeah, almost 40, almost 50
almost
years.
50. Yeah.
I
like how I was counting your fingers. I didn't want to hold mine up too. I was like, I look real bad on camera if we're both holding up.
I know.
Like fingers to try to math.
We are really good at. We already have talked about this. So anyways, so since the length of time that he's been gone has obviously been extensive, police suspect foul play. His family was always adamant that he wouldn't have left voluntarily because he kept regular contact with them, and they haven't heard from him since 1973. At the time of his disappearance, Henry was 21. He was 6'2" and 175 pounds. He was wearing a black turtleneck sweater, light gray slacks, and black shoes. He is a black, or was, I'm not sure which tends to use, a black male, black hair, brown eyes, and his hair was styled in a large afro at the time of his disappearance. There's currently I wrote 2,000, but I'm pretty sure it's 20, cash reward for tips that lead to an arrest. And then there's the documentary I mentioned is called What Happened to Henry, and I will include the link to that website. It's a pretty cool site, and then you can check it out whenever it comes out.
Right on.
But that's sad. I mean, and really, like, who knows? It seems like the most logical explanation would be that he left to avoid having to testify, but then not resurfacing this. I mean, especially after his attacker had already pled guilty and served jail time, you would think you would come back up to life. I mean, it's been so long. So, but also to me, what's interesting is that, I mean, yes, pistol whipping and robbing somebody is not great, but you didn't commit murder. You didn't hurt them to the point where you'd be charged with attempted murder. So 6 months in jail seems relatively not that big of a deal.
Right. Especially
I don't know what kind of time he would have been looking at though had Henry testified against him.
Probably far more, I would assume. I mean, I don't know, obviously, but
so I don't know.
It skeezes me out, I'll tell you that much.
That's the most logical assumption though, is that somebody who had something to do with that had something to do with him disappearing. But
I don't think they're mutually exclusive, definitely.
I'm interested to watch the documentary and see if because I feel like documentaries always find the little things that in the little nuances of a case that you only can get by listening to somebody who is involved talk about it.
Right.
So I'm interested to watch.
Well, yeah, and I feel like for the most part, like the documentary makers usually know all of the ins and outs, and anyone that they talk to or interview, really no matter how minute they think it is, even if they just say one minor detail, it could have a huge impact on the rest of, even if they think it's so insignificant.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, and that's the thing too about documentary makers. They have to know the whole timeline, and they have to know all of the players involved in order to tell the story in a way that makes sense to people. And because obviously some things in a case these, or really any case, there are things that happen outside of the timeline which are really crucial in understanding. And so yes, maybe if it comes out, we can do a recap of the documentary or something.
I was thinking the same thing.
I write it down so we don't forget.
Because we will.
Well, and that's why we've started writing things down, you guys. We're learning.
We're note takers now. We do our homework. We take notes.
We've been watching the things we say we will, and then we take notes on them.
Yeah,
it's a big deal.
I know, and we're actually trying to become business savvy and learn how to do things.
Whoa.
I know. I don't want to jump the gun and say that we're becoming boss ass bitches, but
but we kind of are.
But we kind of are becoming boss ass bitches.
Listen, we've got big dreams, and we had a big, I think we mentioned this in our first episode back, but we had a big business meeting, and we
Yeah.
were like, here are the things we want to do this year. We're manifesting our goals. We're working really hard. And like we mentioned, like we're trying to set up a website. We've got YouTube up and going. We're revamping our Instagram. It's
Actually,
been a
I
lot of
think by
work.
the time this episode's out, the website should be up and running.
Yeah.
Question mark.
Fingers crossed. It's in my to-do column, but you guys listen. Creating a website from scratch is like really hard.
And when we're done with this, remind me to ask you how to like make pages, because I was going to start working on the Why Do You Like This backlog, and I don't know what I'm doing.
yeah, got you. Yeah, so what we're doing is we're making one hot for content website, and all 3 of the podcasts that are underneath us will be on that website. You can find episode information, you can listen to episodes, you can find info about us, all of us who are podcasters and friends. And then of course, we'll have like sponsor information in there too.
Yes. Anytime we have a sponsor on a show, we'll have their information linked in the
show
webpage
notes on the website. Yeah. So
and also the descriptions of like wherever you're listening to this. So it'll be everywhere so that it's at your fingertips.
Yes. Anyways,
I think it's my turn, and this one's bonks.
Okay. What's the name?
So I'm gonna read you my first line of this, and then you just tell me what you think. So David Morris of Michigan City, Indiana, in my opinion, has perpetrated 3 homicides, but he's only officially tied to 1.
Okay.
So I also originally found this on the Reddit machine.
Oh, Reddit. Mm-hmm.
And I found, they had a bunch of articles and like YouTube videos linked that all of it will be referenced in the show notes and on the website when that's available. But let me just jump right into it. Okay. So in August of 2012, Candi Morris, a Michigan City, Indiana resident, was reported missing by her husband, David. At the time of her disappearance, Candi was 29, a mother of 3, and her husband was 45. David claimed,
honey.
I know.
Okay.
I know. So he claims that he last saw his wife as she was heading to her job to fill out some paperwork. Her wallet is found at O'Reilly's Bar and Grill, and her vehicle is later found outside of the 3 Sheets Bar, both establishments in Michigan City. Her last known alive sighting is from a friend, Tyrone Harris, whom Candi gave a ride to on August 25th around 1 a.m. So she had left earlier that evening to go fill out some paperwork at her job, and then gave Tyrone, who I believe was a coworker, a ride home after she had done that.
Okay.
So after she's reported missing, search efforts begin. Groups of volunteers and members of law enforcement go looking for traces of Candi, particularly focusing their efforts near the area of Pines, Indiana, as phone records indicated that the last text messages that she had sent pinged off of a tower near County Line and Chandler Roads. These searches went on until the cold months came and the conditions were no longer safe for groups to go on searches. During these search parties is when things start to get weirder. About a month into the search efforts, David Morris meets a 30-year-old woman named Anna Reeves, and they soon begin a romantic relationship. Yes, you heard me correct. After only a few weeks, this man finds a new girlfriend who had been a part of the search efforts to find his missing wife.
Okay. I would haunt Wes's ass for the rest of his life.
Bitch, same. I would haunt Wes for you.
Thank you.
No, but Zachary would be fucking ghost bait. Like,
yeah.
I'm telling you, it'd be bad juju all over. But it only gets weirder, bro.
That's okay. It's like some really bad juju, but okay.
So like you went from like weird to like pretty weird.
Okay.
It's about to get
so weirder.
Weird.
Okay.
It's about to get goddamn bonkers, my dude. So Candi would remain a missing person until May of 2013, when her remains were discovered in Pines, Michigan, only about a quarter of a mile away from the intersection where her last texts were sent. Unfortunately, due to the conditions in which the remains were found, the cause of death could not be determined. On this same day, David's girlfriend, Anna, dies in her sleep.
What?
Her death is ruled an accident and attributed to, quote, acute mixed drug intoxication and or overdose, end quote.
How old was she again?
30.
Was she a drug user?
Not that I could find out.
Interesting.
Very. Okay. So the same day
Weird.
that his wife's remains are found, his girlfriend turns up dead in her bed. Of mysterious causes.
Yeah, it's a little bit sus.
Yeah.
Just gonna go ahead and say it.
So let me dive a little bit deeper into this, because it gets worse. Like you thought it was bad.
Yeah.
It gets worse.
Okay.
It's important to note that in the short time that they had been dating, so this is from, like late September to May of the following year. So not even like 7-8 months.
Mm-hmm.
I don't math, whatever, close enough.
Whatever.
Anna had filed several domestic abuse charges against David, but apparently nobody thought that mattered, because there was never a formal investigation into whether her death was actually a homicide or an accident.
I don't like any of this.
Yeah, so totally not weird at all, right?
Not at all.
Totally just sounds normal. Like she definitely just had like an accidental, overdose, and
they're just random. Just really random.
Yeah, he definitely never abused or yelled at her.
Nope.
None of that.
His wife definitely just walked into the woods on her own and laid down.
Totes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
So he's never been charged. And again, so this is already a bonkers story. It gets crazier.
Okay.
So these are the 2 deaths in which David has never been formally charged or really investigated in.
Okay.
Like, obviously people have made assumptions. There's been rumors. Mm-hmm. Nothing stuck.
Natural.
That is until David was found guilty of murder in 2016.
Who did he murder now?
So, let me tell you. On April 23rd of 2016, a man named Sergio Serrano, who had co-owned a car dealership with his longtime friend, Hufracio, I totally fucked that name up, Arteaga, decided to pop by the car lot as he hadn't heard from his friend in a few days. And this is unlike him. On this day, Sergio used his key to open up the back office of the car dealership and found his friend's body covered by a sheet in the back room. So he called the police. Mm-hmm. The cause of death was ruled a homicide by multiple stab wounds to the head and torso. Damn. And it was determined that he was likely killed about 4 days earlier on the 19th. Based on crime scene evidence, it appears as if he had been killed in one portion of the office and then dragged to the back room. Hufracio's wallet, keys, and car were all missing from the scene, as well as an additional car, a green Subaru from the car lot. Unfortunately, the dealership didn't have their own security cameras, but the business across the street did have one where you could see the car lot from again across the street.
I don't know why you wouldn't have security cameras for a car dealership, but okay.
Right? Like, someone just up and takes, probably a $10,000+ car and
right.
No big deal.
Whatever.
Yeah. Or in the off chance that, one of the co-owners gets murdered.
Yeah, that too.
I don't know. That too. Seems like a bad idea not to have security cameras, especially in the year 2016.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Whatever. It's very affordable now to have.
Yeah. This is your PSA. If you own a business, get a fucking Ring camera.
Or not a Nest or a Blink or
any brand. It doesn't matter.
A bunch. We have some outside our house.
Yeah. Really change the game. And for very inexpensive, get yourself a goddamn camera. Anyways.
Moving on.
Anyways.
Onward.
So, police look at the footage from the 19th when they, that's the day that they presume that he was murdered. Okay. And in the cameras, you can see Hufracio speaking with a heavyset black man. And after a moment, the men get into the green Subaru that turns up missing from the lot. Uh-huh. And then after 6 minutes of what's presumed to be a test drive, they return. Mm-hmm. After this, Hufracio is seen going back into the office, and then the black man leaves on foot. About an hour later, he's seen again starting from across the street and then eventually seen going in around the backside of the building, out of sight of the camera. The man is seen again the next day on camera driving out of the lot in Hufracio's white Hyundai.
Okay.
This is the last time he's seen, the last time he is seen just minutes before Sergio arrived in the parking lot on the 23rd. It's the same man driving off in the green Subaru. So literally right before the co-owner comes and discovers the body, like the guy leaves in the Subaru.
Oh.
Like, moments. Like,
Okay.
it's nuts. Like, literally, if he had left like 10 minutes later, like, they would have crossed paths.
That's weird.
Yeah. So, a witness tells police that she sees a heavyset black man exiting the dealership's office window on the 21st, but she didn't think too much about it until the discovery of Hufracio's body had made the news headlines.
Sorry.
Why would you not be, like, freaked out by, like, some dude crawling out of an office window?
Yeah, I would be like,
in any capacity. I
have some inquiries
anywhere. Like, I would have at least like hollered and been like, "You good?" Like,
yeah, it's weird.
I don't know. Maybe we're just weird.
Maybe we're
paranoid.
Yeah, I am a lot. Whatever.
It's fine.
We have to be vigilant as women.
Yeah, we do.
So.
I mean, you know, clearly men don't probably have the same amount of issues as we do. I mean, I shouldn't say clearly because maybe it's not, and we're also not men.
It's clear, but it's clear.
Yeah, I think it's just like understood.
It is. Anyways.
So the weird instance of this man crawling out of a window that didn't set off any red flags until days later happens.
Okay.
So police then looked to see if any of Hufracio's cards had been used since his wallet was missing. And this led to some more interesting discoveries via video surveillance.
Okay.
So, on the day of the murder, Hufracio is seen on footage at a gas station talking to none other than David Morris. And the pair are seen getting into his now missing Hyundai. Hufracio's card is later used at a grocery store for an over $400 purchase that included a vacuum. Another time at a fast food place, and then again at a liquor store.
Weird.
So, yeah. The serial number of the vacuum is ran, and 2 days after it's purchased, is sold at a local pawn shop. Again,
I didn't even know vacuum cleaners had serial numbers. It's such a weird thing, but okay.
So, I don't know if they all do, but I know, like, the expensive ones, like, you know, like your Dysons and, like, your Roombas and shit like that, they will.
That makes sense.
Like, my not Roomba, my Shark Roomba that I've lovingly... Did I ever tell you that I named our Shark Roomba Sharknado?
No, I like it though. Sharknado.
Anyways, but it has a serial number because you have to like activate them in like an app. Usually like these like more expensive vacuums, or if they like break down, you can like call whatever the manufacturer is, and they'll like, oh, what's the serial number, and then they can get the right part for you or whatever. Okay,
I digress.
So or if they have a warranty, whatever. That's all my zhuzh about vacuums and serial numbers.
Okay.
I just know too much about like returns and, you know, all of that from previous jobs and issues people have with expensive things. Fair. Yeah. Otherwise I wouldn't have known all that information.
Okay. Well, you're just really smart though. And anyways, so you know a lot of the things.
I'm just a fountain of useless information. Like, who the fuck needs to know about a serial number on a vacuum? But I know all about them.
But now I know, and now all of our listeners know.
You're right.
So if you guys didn't know,
educated y'all.
Your vacuum cleaner has a serial number on it.
Yeah, and
the more you know,
any sort of issue with it, you can call the manufacturer, and they can help, walk you through your issue, or potentially get you a new one, or whatever. Yeah. Anywho, so they run the serial number. It was sold at a local pawn shop by David Morris, who had used a friend's ID to make the pawn. Surveillance from the pawn shop not only shows this transaction happen, but also shows David and his friend driving away afterwards in the green Subaru.
Bro he's sloppy.
Yeah. So, a bolo is put out for both cars, the Hyundai and the Subaru, and a warrant's put out for David. After being apprehended, he claims that he met Hufracio at the gas station and that he had only bought him a pack of cigarettes and then let him test drive a car. He does admit to breaking into the dealership through the window in the office, but he says that he didn't see Hufracio when he was there the second time. And then, so the police officer that was questioning him then realizes that David's wearing the exact same outfit that he was wearing when he was caught on video. So you said this man was sloppy.
Amateur hour, man.
Worst
Do you not
criminal
watch CSI?
Ever.
Even just like a little bit.
one episode is enough to tell you that you should,
Jesus. Okay, whatever.
whatever. Is what it is.
I mean, it's good they were amateur hour. Obviously, they got caught, but...
Right. So they take the clothing and have it tested, and sure enough, blood is found on nearly all of the clothing.
Wow, I'm shocked.
And sure enough, guess whose blood it was?
Oh, wow. I'm, like, so surprised.
So the two vehicles are then soon located in Michigan City, and inside the Subaru is discovered the murder weapon, a serrated kitchen knife. It's, like, under, like, the hood of the car, along with some other clothing and just pieces of evidence.
How did this dude get away with 2 other murders, though? That's what I want to know, because he's obviously not intelligent. I think that...
So
I don't know. I'm not sure if he has the brains to get away with his wife's murder and his girlfriend's murder and then do this.
Right.
This is amateur.
He's been convicted of the murder of Hufracio, but the other murders, the murder of his wife.
How did his wife die? Did they find out?
No, she was too decomposed. They couldn't figure it out.
Listen,
yeah.
I have serious doubts whether this man had the brain power to murder 2 other people. Or I'm going to have some serious doubts about the ability of that police department. Like,
I think it's the latter.
It's one or the other.
I think it's the latter, if I'm being honest, because there'll be a link to a YouTube video where he's interviewed by police after his wife goes missing, and like he just seems so cavalier about the whole thing. He's just like, yeah, like I really miss her, like
kind of like Chris Watts.
Yeah, but like I would say worse.
Okay,
because at least Chris pretended to be sad.
Listen, these men, I just can't. What was his motive for murdering Hufracio?
I'm assuming the cars, or at least the car and or the money. Because
how much money was it?
He spent well over $400.
That's like nothing though.
Right, but so based on kind of what I could tell, like it doesn't seem like that area is like super affluent or, whatever.
Okay.
Not gonna, say it's like the most, booming socioeconomically.
Okay.
So like might have just been like an opportunity thing.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, oh, like this guy seems to have like a little bit of cash. Like maybe I can,
set it up.
Right. And then, like I said, like randomly at a gas station, like he bought this stranger a pack of cigarettes and like let him test drive a car. Like that's kind of weird too. Like,
mm-hmm.
So I would have loved to know what their conversations looked like, but like he's not been forthcoming about any of that.
There's a bunch of lines and dots and they're not connecting.
No.
In my brain. So, but that's
none of it computes. And really that I couldn't find any, anything to say that like he had like got like a fat like insurance settlement from like his wife going missing or anything like that. So I'm not really sure like what all of the motives are. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's an important context, but maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Interesting. Weird and interesting.
But IMO, David Morris, piece of shit, and has murdered 3 people. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay. Well, you can. That's your right as a podcaster.
Fuck yeah. But anyways.
We've reached the dicking off section of this.
We have reached the dicking off portion of this podcast. What would you like to dig off about?
Okay, I am starting trial 4. We're gonna recap that. So
hell yeah, we are.
What else?
I'll take some.
I got a new mic.
You did get a new mic. Hopefully, I mean, I'll be able to tell when I'm editing it because like right now we're just like on a call, so it's a little bit harder for me to tell.
Yeah,
but
it sounds good in my GarageBand. So Jaymie inspired me because she got a new mic for Christmas, and so I ordered the same one, but it doesn't quite work with my setup. So I was like, I returned it, and I got this one, this baby. Mm-hmm. And I love it. It's compact. But
I know. I quite like that. While I will say the one with the arm works for my setup, mm-hmm. I do like that yours is tabletoped.
Yes. So that was like a big thing for me because I don't have that much space in my office / Emerson's nursery / the pod room.
Pod
So
spare bedroom.
yeah,
TBT.
yours with the arm is very nice and adjustable, but it's too big for my space, and I don't have the
Totally.
correct setup. So this one is really nice that
Yeah, yours is just so damn cute.
tabletop. It's very popular amongst streamers and podcasters.
Yeah, actually, I don't know if I've ever talked about him on this podcast. Our buddy Mark, who works at IGN. I don't even know if you're really familiar with IGN is.
I am not, but I've heard of Mark before. Hi, Mark, if you're listening. Hello.
Yes, Mark_Medina on Twitter, my homeboy. So IGN's like a video game and like media website. Like they review mostly video games, but they also will review like movies and like just other content. But primarily they do like video game reviews and like walkthroughs and tutorials and shit like that.
Okay.
But so Mark streams, and Zach has dabbled in it and would love to like get into it. And so one time we borrowed his, because he has the same microphone that you do.
Oh.
We borrowed his just like see how we liked it. So that's why when you were like, oh fuck, the arm mic doesn't work, I was like, I know.
Yeah. So well, and I Googled too. So after you texted me, I Googled it, and then Google was like, Blue Yeti, send it. So I sended it.
You sent that bitch.
I sended it. Incorrect grammar, but I'm here for it. Anyways, what about you?
So I've watched a few things. I'm only going to talk about one today because I would like to split it up. But you know I love some good TLC trash.
Yes,
television.
90 Day Fiancé.
Yeah, 90 Day Fiancé is obviously like my like ride or die.
Your go-to.
Also a big fan of My 600-Pound Life and the 1,000-Pound Sisters.
Yes, okay, me too. I used to watch it all the time, but then when they would go in for like their skin surgery, it would make me nauseous, so I kind of stopped watching.
Fair. So this is not My 600-Pound Life or 1,000-Pound Sisters, but both of those shows are great. If you like My 600-Pound Life, you'll love 1,000-Pound Sisters, by the way.
Yeah, and they're two sisters.
And they're hilarious. Season 2 just dropped. So it's, if you have live television on Hulu, you can, like, they're dropping week by week.
Okay.
Or if you have like the Discovery Plus, which I think is the new streaming thing. Yeah. They're also dropping weekly.
I can't keep track. There's so many.
Me either. But this is not that. The thing I'm here to talk about today is Welcome to Plathville.
Okay.
Have you heard of this?
No.
Okay. Whoa, buckle up, Buttercup. So this show is about a family. They want to say they have like 8 or 9 kids. They're like very religious. And when I say they're very religious, I mean very religious. Not that there's anything wrong with being religious. That's, your own prerogative, what have you.
Right.
But these folks made up all these very wild rules for their family. Like these kids, they're not allowed to have like any kind of sugar. They're not allowed to watch TV, like those kind of people. Like they live on a farm. The parents are very like, it's our way or the highway.
Okay.
Like the eldest children that have since moved out and gotten married, the parents won't let them see the younger children without permission and supervision because they're bad influences, because they've moved out of the farm. And because the eldest son's wife is like not like following all the rules, she's a bad influence and therefore basically the devil. And it's all her fault.
Okay, that's weird.
It's very wild.
I'm getting some like 19 and counting or whatever that Duggar show is. I'm getting those vibes.
Think them, but wilder. Because at least the Duggars, like, they're pretty, while they're, very, I'm going to say old-fashioned.
Listen, 19 kids. Like, good night, goodbye, and good night. Yeah. That's all I got to say.
Her poor
you must never want to have fun the rest of your life if you have 19 children. No. That's all I have to say.
No. Well, like I said, even like this lady's had like 8 or 9. Oh my god, I almost forgot about the worst part.
Okay.
So not only, so they have all these kids. In the early like 20 teens, they had an almost 2-year-old that she ran over with her car. on accident, quote.
Was she okay?
So they talk about it like once in the first season. They're like, oh yeah, we had another kid when he was 17 months old. Like I saw him, and
No. If he dies, I don't want to hear it. No, I can't. I'm out.
Okay, I won't say
terrible.
anything then. And yeah, but like
that's how old Emerson is.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
But like she acts like just kind of like, yeah, like it happened.
It's probably a coping mechanism, but Jesus.
Yeah, it's the way she like acts like is like too cavalier for me.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, could you like even like just like fake cry, please? Like I don't care if you're faking. Like please just.
I don't care. Yeah, no
remorse.
No. That's wild.
Yeah, and
poor baby.
And then like her adult kids, like she acts like they're dead to her. Like
yeah, that's a lot of something going on.
Like at the beginning of the second season, like I don't want to like spoil too much because like I'm sure I'm gonna convince somebody to watch the show because these people are nuts.
I don't know if I can.
They only talk about the baby the one time.
Okay.
It's only mentioned once and like they never talk about it again.
Okay.
So it's not like about that. But what was I gonna say? The two like middle kids that are like teenagers, they get kicked out. One's 19, one's 17. The parents straight kick them out because they're like, yeah, they're just like on a bad path, and you know, we don't want them being an influence on the younger kids.
So it seems like they just don't want a parent at all.
Ding,
there we
ding,
go. Well, I have 9 kids. It sounds like to me they had 9 kids that they wanted to brainwash, and when they had a mind of their own, they were like, okay, deuce it.
Yeah, because like there's only one kid that's like of like a teenage age that the parents even seem to like, and it's this one girl, Lydia, who's like, she's like the middle oldest child. She's the only one that is allowed to have the computer password because the mom doesn't trust anyone else with it, not even the husband. The only people that have the password to the computer in the house is the mom and then like that one daughter. It's nuts. There's the wildest people I've ever met.
I don't know if I could watch it because I'd want to like tweet at her and be like, you're dumb. I don't like you. I already thought about it.
Oh, but anyways, so Mark Medina is the one that got me into the show. That's why I mentioned him in the first place. Because
okay, we circle back to Mark.
Right. Okay. So because when him and Zach play video games, sometimes I'll take the headset and we'll talk about TLC shows. Because
listen,
Mark and I watch a lot of TLC.
I just need to talk about The Bachelor for a second.
Oh my God, please.
Just for like 1 second, and then we have to wrap this up. But listen, Victoria and her bra straps need to go to the thrift store and like figure something else out. Okay.
Have you listened to Zach and I's recap of the first 2 weeks of The Bachelor?
Not yet. No, because I only listen to pods when I'm driving, and I haven't been driving.
Okay, fair. We shit on Victoria for a good like 5 minutes straight. And
listen,
she's crazy.
I think I saw this meme. It was so funny, and it was like Matt, you know, saying I can't wait to, or I don't know, something about finding something real and whatever. And the producers are like, give Victoria a rose, or we're taking the Peloton first, because you know he had like that nice ass like penthouse, and I was like, that's facts. Because
that's everything.
There's no way he kept her just to like. There's no way he connected with her. He looked so awkward, and like when they kissed in the last episode, I was like, I'm pretty sure he was internally barfing too, because she's gross.
Well, okay,
does not know how to wear eyeshadow. I'm sorry. I'm like women hating right now. I don't do this. I'm all about women supporting women, but she's not a nice person.
Okay, T for timeout. 2 things. Okay. 1, Matt James makes me want to barf anytime he makes out with anyone because he's an open eye kisser.
Okay, I did see that like briefly. I'll have to watch tonight's episode. I'll watch more carefully to see those peepers.
Yeah, peep those peepers and let me know what you think.
Okay.
But
anyways, what's number 2?
Other thing. So our girl Des B on Instagram, who I'm only saying it because I know you know who it is. Zach would have no idea. She posted on her stories like a week or 2 ago that someone that like knows Victoria DM'd her and was like, oh, like 100 P, like producers told her to like act it up, and like she's definitely staying till at least like week 4.
Yeah, I can see that. You know what? I can see that. I listened to another podcast about and she's a former Bachelor, like contestant. She was on Ari Leyendek's season.
That was like what, like 3 seasons ago?
3 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
So she kind of like, you know, she talks about it. Now she's out of her contract. She can talk about really whatever.
Right.
And they definitely stage shit and like they definitely poke the girls into saying shit. They got to make good TV.
Well, yeah.
So, but like this queen thing, like sister, no.
Like
you act like a 4-year-old.
And I said this in the Weekend Plans episode. By the way, if you watch The Bachelor, definitely listen to me and Zach recap the episodes of The Bachelor and Bachelorette over on Weekend Plans.
Okay, can I be on your next episode? Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna record tomorrow night.
Thank you. Okay.
Excellent. I'll FaceTime you then.
Okay.
But where was I going with this? I had a point. I promise I did. So Victoria, so the first episode, because you know, like how it says like what their like job title is underneath their name when they whatever. I thought the queen thing was a fucking joke. I thought it was a joke.
It's not. It was like
happened and it was there.
Listen, I can see like night one, like it's cute, but the queen energy is not putting other women down, not calling them princess, not shoving your way into their dates, not being rude, condescending. That's not queen energy, sweetie.
No, that's little dick energy.
Yes, we don't like it. Anyways, that's all. If you want to hear more, I'm going to be on Jaymie and Zach's Weekend Plans episode, so you can just listen to that.
Yeah, honestly, we should try to just Skype you in most of the time.
Yeah, I like that. I love The Bachelor. I love to talk about it. Anyways,
done and done.
So we have to sign off because
we've been talking for too long.
Yes, and we'll see you on Wednesday for a recap of Unsolved Mysteries episode 3, which is
wait, no, this will be episode 5 because we skipped the 4th. Oh wait, no,
we still haven't done number 3. We did the death in Oslo.
No, that was last week though. Episode 3 was last week. We're skipping episodes 4.
That's episode 2. Whatever. Okay, it's gonna be a screen recap of one of the Unsolved Mysteries. We have to go back and look and listen to it. Thank you.
All right, bye.
Goodbye.